from the News Channel 5 network. This is Urban Outlook.
Hello and welcome to Urban Outlook, a forum for African American issues. I'm April Eaton. The National Urban League just released its 2022 State of Black America report, warning that America is under siege by a plot to destroy democracy. The report says history threatens to repeat itself. There's an all-out attack on voting rights that, instead of literacy tests and fire hoses and attack dogs keeping people from the polls like in the past, the tactics have changed, and misinformation about voter fraud, redistricting, and voter suppression laws are targeting communities of color and trying to silence Black voices and votes. Here to discuss the report and the state of Black America in Tennessee is Clifton Harris. He is the president and CEO of the Urban League of Middle Tennessee. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, April.
There's so much to unpack in this report.
There's a lot to unpack. There's over 300 various data points.
Yeah, the equity index is one thing where we talk about the disparities in education, the economy, health, those topics, societal problems. And then there's this piece that I think has really made the headlines about what it looks like to vote in America. And that report really looks at what they call the big lie, and what happened after the 2020 election. And then you all are calling it, of course, this issue with democracy, this plot to destroy democracy.
It's an attack on democracy.
Give us your take on the findings of the report from a national perspective.
Well, I think, nationally, it is clear that there is an attack now on our democracy. In many of the states, we are seeing voter suppression, we're seeing gerrymandering, we're seeing, intimidation tactics, that are taking place all across the country in some shape, form, or fashion to keep people from getting to the polls and to keep, African Americans, from having the representation that we need to improve our plot, in life and to close the equity gaps, that we have had to endure for so many years.
It said about 20 states, for instance, that tactic one anyway, that 20 states leveraged census data to withdraw congressional maps, that redistricting part. What does that look like here in Tennessee, and how did the survey results impact us here in Tennessee?
So it really impacted Davidson County, where you had an urban stronghold that was, divided up into 3 buckets, if you will, and put into rural districts, if you will. So it weakened the stronghold that Davidson County has had as a block of voters and representation. And so now, as a result of the redistricting, we don't have that representative power that we once had.
That's what I want to understand, that power piece. When you say that it weakened us and we don't have that stronghold of power, I'm assuming you mean power of people of color.
Power of people of color, power of representation at our legislative bodies, power of representation in our congressional halls. And so, it has impacted people of color, power of the vote in one district.
There's other parts of the survey that talk about suppression, blocking the ballot box, making it difficult for people to vote, whether they're changing the times, whether they're changing sort of the rules around absentee ballots, whether they're changing the days that people used to vote in order to make it more convenient. What are you seeing here in Tennessee?
So we're not seeing as much of that here in Tennessee, thank goodness. But many of our other states and our other cities and our other sister affiliates and all across the country are having to, endure this on a day in, day out basis, to try and stay ahead of all of these tactics that are being pulled to keep people, from getting out to vote. And that is really a sad thing. There's power. If voting didn't matter, why would people be going through so much, trouble, so much extent, to try and block people from voting?
And are there other things that you see cropping up when it comes to people getting out to vote? You hear of the issues around making sure you have your photo ID. Tennessee worked through some of those things long ago, right?
Long ago, and also it is our job to make sure that our residents, our citizens, are educated on the process to vote, and so that's what we do. We do a good job in all of educating people on how to vote so that we can get out to vote. And now we just need to encourage people, go vote. Please go vote.
The report, and we will get to the importance of voting, but the report also cited sabotage tactics. This whole stop the steal process that went on in the past election. Do you see those kinds of things nationally and then here in Tennessee?
We definitely see those things nationally. We are not seeing that so much here in Tennessee. That's part of the big lie.
Yeah.
Right. And thank goodness, we're not seeing as much as that here in Tennessee. But nationally, that is definitely a problem, April.
And then one of the other pieces that I want to make sure that we talk about came out of the survey, the State of Black America, regarding intimidation, that folks who have these jobs to make sure that we maintain the purity of elections are finding themselves being threatened.
Right.
I know that's happening nationally. We've seen news stories about it. What about here in Tennessee?
Yeah, and again, fortunately, we're not having to experience that great of depth of those types of intimidation. What does it matter that you give a person water for standing in line? I mean, I don't understand why that is such a problem and stuff. So again, in Tennessee, we are not experiencing those type of intimidation tactics, and I'm very thankful, that we don't have to. But we do have our problems. That's for sure.
So, Clifton, when you look at a report like this, and of course there are lots of strong, powerful national statistics that come into play with the results of this survey, how do you take that survey and the results and some of these things that we see and make sure that they continue not happening here in Tennessee or fix it if things are happening?
Yeah, so we take a report and we drill down locally. How is that impacting us locally?
Yeah.
I've always been taught you can eat a whole elephant if you eat it a little bit at a time, right? And so we tend to take, the most important issues and give priority to those issues, and then we try and drill down on that and come up with strategies, to combat, the disparity, that we're seeing in that area.
And what do you hope that people are pulling away from this? Our citizens in the area, you said it's important that we just get people out to vote, period. There are a number of times that people have an opportunity to vote. We're voting right now. Right. Is it just the popular elections that get the attention? And if not, how important are the local ones?
Unfortunately, it is the popular elections that get the attention, but the local elections, the less popular elections, are critical, to the representation of our community.
Right.
It is important to know what judges you are putting in office, because those judges make decisions about people of color that hasn't always been so favorable towards people of color. So we want to make sure, that we are educated about who we are putting into office. Our local school board elections is critical. These are our children we're talking about. And so it's important that we know exactly who we're voting for in local elections, but it's also equally important that we get out and cast our vote for those individuals that we want to represent us and represent us well.
Yeah, an average turnout. What does an average turnout look like in times like this?
Very low, unfortunately.
Wow.
As a result, since we started early voting, we're at about 9,500 people have voted, so we're right at the threshold of 10,000. Yesterday was our biggest day of over 1,700. People got out and voted. But in major elections, we're looking at anywhere upwards of 30 to 50, 60,000 people voting. So it's a low turnout.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to share more about what people can do to get involved, to get out the vote.
Yes.
And also, I want to talk about some other pieces of that report about the disparities that exist between blacks and whites when it comes to key factors that make up our society.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.